Hey guys, today I have another VR hardware review for you. Look what I have here. This is the MeganeX Superlight 8K, a very tiny and light PCVR headset with micro OLED and a very high resolution. That's gonna be very interesting. So I have a full review for you with all the details. Thank you so much to Shifter for sending me this review unit, and also to MRTB, to Sebastian, that he connected me to this company. Very, very nice. So in the description you will find the link where you can buy this headset if you're interested. My name is Thomas and you're watching VoodooDE VR. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go.
VoodooDE.
Okay guys, let's do an unboxing first. Look at this. This is the package MeganeX Superlight 8K. Yeah, we have here the model number SVP VGC3B, included items and so on. Yeah, so let's open it. Pure. Here we have a safety and warranty guide. Wow. And here we go. Before we unbox the headset, let's put it to the side. We have different boxes here. Oh, holy moly. So here's nothing left, so let's put it to the side. Okay, let's check out what's included here. Whoa! So, what do we have here? This is the breakout box. This is the box here. We have power, display port, and USB-C. Here to the headset. Then we have, oh yeah, this goes into the headset, I think. Interesting. We have a USB-A to USB-C cable. We have the, this is the power adapter and the adapters for the different countries. And here, not sure, this is a small adapter with two screws, I think. No idea. I have to check out the manual. Yeah, and here's the facial interface. Looks pretty dirty, right? Did they have some pets or so? I don't know. Okay, let's close that, put it to the side, and then let's check out what's here. Yeah, this seems to be the head strap. Okay. Left and right. Okay, and here we have a DisplayPort cable. Nice. And here's the USB-C cable. It looks pretty short, but I will measure it. I'm not sure right now, but I will measure that. And yeah, that's what we have here. And here's the headset. Look at this. We have a small dongle here. Yeah, we will see what that is for. I think perhaps it's Bluetooth for the controllers, but that would be pretty bad because normally it's included in the headset. But we will see. I don't really know. So here's the headset. Look at this. Very small, very light. Look at the lenses here. Wow. Proximity sensor. Then on top we have all the attachments. I think this goes like something like here or so. We will see. We can push that to mount it better. Here's USB-C. This is the front. And this is the bottom. We can change diopter settings here, left and right. That's pretty cool. And here we have a button, some screws. We have USB-C, left and right. There's nothing. Yeah, pretty light, really light. So yeah, that was the unboxing, guys. And now let's check out the things we can do with the headset. Okay guys, so let's talk about design, comfort and weight. So of course this is a very tiny small headset. It's very light. I can come a little bit closer. Look at this here. I mean, it's not a beauty, let's be honest, yeah. But still, it's very light. And it has different functions. For example, when you check out this is a slider. When I push that here, I can move this left or forwards and backwards, and so I can adjust it from my face. That's really good. Also, we have this small wheel here. Look at this. We can also adjust it on our face with this way. And another cool thing, I can show it to you. I will put it on my head like this. And then we have to push this button and then, zack, we can flip it up. And then we can drink something, we can check out every other things and so on. And then we can push the button again and then flip it down. Yeah, really great. Absolutely fine. So the weight of this headset, including the strap, is 261 grams. The manufacturer says something about 179, but this is only the case without the head strap. With everything that you have on your head, it's 261 grams. So that's very light, it's very good. The cable here, the cable that goes here from this part is like 3 meters. Yeah, and it goes to a converter box that's another 1 meter to your PC. However, this is much too short. If you want to play games standing like Half-Life Alyx or so, it's impossible. I tried to play Half-Life Alyx, at least in my room, it didn't work. As soon as I have to turn, it's strangled via my body, and then I couldn't play it. It's much too short, and it's also absolutely not flexible. Yeah, so this is not a good cable. However, if you just play seated simulations, then it doesn't matter. But if you really want to play like Half-Life Alyx or Beat Saber or something where you have to move, then this is not a good cable. But they have another optical cable that's 5 meter, but you can buy it for 179 euro. And if you really want to play standard and play games where you have to move, you have to buy this cable, because this is really not a good cable. That's a problem. All in all, the comfort is great. Yeah, it's really great. You can play hours and hours because you nearly don't feel this headset. Yeah, the weight is here on your forehead, and it's so light, so absolutely great, the comfort. Let's talk about setup. So you need 2 things for this headset. The first one is the so-called configurator from this company, and SteamVR. That's for sure. Of course, you need a PC. This is not a standalone headset like Quest 3 or so. You need a PC. Yeah, that's very important. So you have to download this configurator file. You have to install it. Yeah, it copies some files, and then you have to reboot your PC. And after that, you can open the configurator. You can adjust the IPD settings there. You can even go for profiles, adjust some audio settings there. There's also image settings where you can adjust brightness, contrast and color, play around a little bit. When you go of full brightness, it looks very strange. And also when I put it on full brightness, the left display was dark then. That's strange. So there's some things. I just left it to standard settings. Then you have some movie settings for resolution and colors. You have update settings and app settings where, for example, you can change language. So this is the setup. It's really easy. And then SteamVR, you have to install that and then do a room setup. It's very short and very easy, so no problems here. That's yeah, the thing you need for the MeganeX Superlight 8K. Okay, let's talk about one of the most important things for a VR headset, the display, of course. And this headset has a wonderful display. It has a resolution of 3552 by 3840 per eye. That is insane high. And this with a micro OLED display. Wow. So this is a really big highlight. There are not many other headsets that have this display inside, and then it's even so small. It has 90 Hertz. And of course, you can imagine the screen door effect is absolutely not visible. You can focus on that, it's not visible. The colors are super. Of course, with the OLED display, colors are great, 10-bit HDR colors and so on. Insane. Then the black levels are great because also of the OLED. It's great. Everything is completely dark where it should be. It's great. And then I try to read text. This is also no problem. So if you want to work with this headset, no problem. You connect it to a PC and then you can work with it because it's also so light. That's no problem. Then I try to see some blurriness or Mura effects and so on. I have no problems with that. I didn't see any of that stuff. Very good. Also the brightness. I mean, of course, LCD displays are brighter. Yeah, but this headset has also pretty good brightness. You can even change the slider a little bit higher in the tool, and I didn't see any problems with that. So the display is absolutely great with this headset. Wow, I'm really impressed. Okay guys, let's talk about the lenses. Look at this. We have pancake lenses. They are really small. And yeah, so the sweet spot for this headset is very good. We have clear lenses. Everything is, when you put it on your head, you see it sharp in the middle of your view. That's absolutely no problem. However, edge-to-edge clarity. So on the edges around the whole headset, it's pretty blurry. That's a problem. That's a problem at least for me. Because at the outer edges, it's not sharp anymore, and that's what I don't like so much. A distortion, when we talk about this, is it's visible, like a little bit of barrel distortion in the middle, but I only noticed that when I really focus on that. During gameplay, I didn't really notice that. So in my opinion, that's no problem. Glare was visible. Yeah, so for example, when you have like white text on a black background, you will definitely see glare. A little bit more than with other headsets, I would say, but still, for me was okay. I would say it's still okay. Then talking about binocular overlap. So this is when the two pictures of your both eyes are overlap. Best would be if it's 100%, then your eyes don't have any problems. But some developers say, let's put that a little bit, you see like 70% of the left picture with your right eye and so on. And that means you could have a little bit of problems with your eyes, and it feels like uncomfortable, eye strain and so on. But on this headset, I didn't have problems with that. So binocular overlap was really good. However, the problem here, for me at least, is the edge-to-edge clarity. On the outside of the view is pretty blurry, and I didn't like that. However, this is very individual, guys. So perhaps, I have a different head shape than you, of course. My eyes are very far inside my head, and this could be the problem. I don't know. Perhaps you have not this problem, but yeah, for me at least, that was a problem. Okay, talking about field of view, and I must be really honest here. This is by far the biggest problem of this headset. So I measured that with a special tool, and as always, I have to say, be careful. These values I will show you now are my individual values with my head shape, my eye shape and so on. You will have different values. Likely you will have higher and better values because I have a very bad VR head, I would say. So let's see the values here. So as you can see, this is a really huge problem. I have a vertical field of view of 84 degrees and horizontal field of view also 84 degrees. I think when I remember, this is the worst values that I ever had with the VR headset. Only I think the Reverb, HP Reverb G2, I also had pretty bad values, but this one also very, very bad values. So that's a huge problem for me, a very huge problem, because I need big field of view. I want to have more immersion. I want to see more of the environment. And this is a very big problem with the MeganeX Superlight 8K. That's yeah, what should I say? There are headsets that have much bigger field of view. Even other headsets that are as small as this, like the Bigscreen Beyonds 2, has much better values. So yeah, if you are very interested in big field of view, you should definitely not go for this headset. This is one of the smallest field of views on the market, so be careful with that. If it's important for you, better be careful. Yeah, that's but please, again guys, you will have likely higher values, but still I think yeah, you can compare it to my other values. Even with the Quest 2 and Quest 3S, with the old lenses, I have a bigger field of view. So unfortunately, this is by far the biggest problem that I have with this headset. Let's quickly talk about the performance. I mean, it doesn't make so much sense because it depends on your PC, it depends on the game and so on. So it's hard to talk about this. However, I have a PC with a 14900K CPU and an RTX 4090 GPU. So this is a pretty good PC. There's even better ones like 5090, but I have the 4090 and I played some different games. Of course, Half-Life Alyx, my favorite game, with the maximum resolution, absolutely no problem. It looked very great. It looked insane great. And if this headset had a bigger field of view, this would be the best Half-Life Alyx experience ever. But yeah, this is a problem. Then I played a Microsoft Flight Simulator, also with a very high settings and so on, and was absolutely nice. It looked so good, was no problem, very smooth, and I could see everything. It was so clear, really, really good. Absolutely amazing. But however, yeah, it depends of course on your PC and the game that you play. So, but I didn't have any problems with the performance. Let's talk about controllers. There are no controllers. So if you buy this headset, there are no controllers. So you will have to buy them separately. For example, I can recommend the Valve Index controllers. So you need Lighthouse compatible controllers for this headset because it has Lighthouse tracking. So for example, you can buy those controllers. And they are really good. Yeah, you can hold them like this, and you can throw stuff away and so on. They are really good. And a pair of these controllers is $279. You can buy them on Steam. That's really cool. But there is a small problem. Normally, when you pair the controllers, so for example, these controllers, you have to pair them by clicking the power button and the B button and hold that, and then it goes into a pairing mode, and it normally pairs to the Bluetooth of the headset. But the MeganeX Superlight 8K doesn't have integrated Bluetooth. That could be a problem because now they have a dongle there that you have to put into your PC, and this dongle was really big, so it blocked the USB port next to it. that was not so cool. Yeah, and I mean, I didn't have problems with the tracking or the connection. It was good. But when your PC stands far away from your play area or even in another room or so, then it could be a problem that the Bluetooth has to be on your PC. Yeah, that's worth mentioning, I would say. So I would prefer if they included Bluetooth inside the headset. By the way, they also have their own controllers. They are called Flip VR. I could try them at the XR Hardware Showcase from Sebastian at MRTV, and they were really, really good. They can flip to the side, and then you can have your hands free and so on. They really felt pretty good. And yeah, if you're interested in them, you can buy them at Shiftall. But there are no controllers included here. Let's talk about compatibility. So this is very easy, SteamVR. There's nothing else you can use, SteamVR. You have to connect it via cable, not wireless, to your PC, and then you need SteamVR to play stuff. Also, I have to mention that OpenXR apps do not work without SteamVR. They wrote that also on their homepage. So this is worth mentioning, of course. However, when you can use SteamVR, there are a lot of games, a lot of VR games and apps. So yeah, that's what you can use with the MeganeX Superlight 8K. Watching movies with this headset. So there's a huge advantage with this head strap. So when I put it on my head, as you can see here, there's nothing on my back, so I can use it in my bed while lying. And that's a huge advantage. There's no head strap, there's no battery here. So that's good for lying mode. And the movies look very sharp with a high resolution and 3D, of course. And also it's very good colors because of the OLED display. Absolutely nice. However, some people could perhaps don't like the field of view, yeah, because yeah, it's pretty small. But still, if you want to watch movies, it's nice. However, please note that there's a short cable, so your bed needs to be next to your PC, or your couch needs to be next to your PC, and then you can watch movies very good. Let's talk about accessories or so. So there is lighthouse tracking. That means everything that's compatible with lighthouse is also compatible with the Shift-All MeganeX Superlight 8K. For example, the Vive trackers. They can be used for full body tracking. You can put them on your elbows, on your knees, on your feet and so on. And then you can have your full avatar in VR. That's pretty cool. Also, they included this small adapter here. Look at this. That's a small adapter. It will be under the headset with two screws. And then you can put from a camera, the tripod thing. Yeah, you can put it under the headset and then you can have a short, quick view inside the headset. And that's really good for developers, for example. They don't have to put the headset on your head all the time. Just have a quick look inside the headset and then put it away. That's really cool. Also, Shift-All, the company from this headset, they uploaded STL files for your 3D printer, for example. You can print mods or so, you can mod something and then print something, for example, another head strap or so. That's also very interesting. So yeah, the accessories are really nice that you can use with this headset. Let's talk about tracking. So as I mentioned a lot of times already, it has lighthouse tracking. That means you need base stations inside the corners of your room. It's recommended to have 2 base stations, but it also works with 1 base station. You can use the old 1.0 or the 2.0 version of the base stations. Both work. One of the newer ones costs $149. And yeah, if you only play seated, then 1 could be enough right in front of you, but if you want to play standing and turn around and so on, you should buy 2 of them. So 2 times $149. However, the tracking is great. So the controllers and also the headset are tracked very good because the lighthouse tracking is the best tracking available now. So this is really good. Let's talk about heat development. So I tried the headset for several hours and I felt how warm is it, and that was not a problem. I mean, it gets like warm like my hand or so, I would say, but no problem at all. There's also an active fan inside, so that means if you are inside the game, you don't hear it. But if it's just lying here and it's switched on, then you can hear the fan a little bit. But absolutely no problem. I don't have problems with the heat development here. Let's talk about removable parts and cleaning. So the first thing is you can remove the facial interface. It's magnetic. That's pretty cool. And then you can remove the cable. And then you can also remove the full head strap, like push that to the front. Give me a second here. That's this thing. You can also remove the straps here and also the cover for your forehead. That's really good. You can remove everything. And yeah, here that's how it looks now. You can clean it here everywhere, no problem. Also the front, very good. So you can assemble everything, and that's nice. Let's talk about IPD adjustment. So the IPD adjustment you will do via the software. So there is a motor inside, and when you set your value, then the motor pushes the lenses in the correct position. And you can even hear that then, it makes some noise. That's crazy. The IPD range is from 58 to 72 millimeters. And you can also use profiles. For example, if your friend has like 58 and you have 70, you can do 2 different profiles and then just click on the profile and then the motor pushes that in the right direction. So that's pretty cool. Please note there is no eye tracking included in this headset, so it will not set the IPD automatically. You have to do it manually inside the software. So perhaps you've seen some mixed reality or pass-through with some other headsets like Pico or Quest 3 or even some Vive headset, X-Tal or whatever. But this headset doesn't have any mixed reality or any pass-through. There's no camera included, so you will not be able to see your real environment. That's perhaps interesting for people. However, what you can do is put the headset on your head and then do the flip up, like push this button and then flip it up. Yeah, and then you have your mixed reality. No, I'm just kidding, of course, but you can do this, but there is absolutely no mixed reality and no pass-through. People wearing glasses. So the problem is no glasses fit under the VR headset. That doesn't work. But there's some cool thing. Look at here, I'm a little bit closer. Look at these small wheels here. Do you see them? So with this wheels, you can adjust the diopter from 0 diopter to -7, and that's the range you can use that. That's pretty cool. So everybody who's inside that range can use it without glasses, then without contact lenses. However, if you are outside from this range or cannot use that for which reason ever, then later, the company will have like prescription lenses for this headset, and then you can order them. But yeah, later this year, I think. However, if you are inside this range, this is great. Let's talk about connectors. So what can you connect to the headset? There is only one connector here. This is the USB-C port. That's the only one. There's no audio jack or something else. Here's of course also USB-C, but you need that for the cable. So you only have one USB-C port, and likely you will use that for your headphones. For example, yeah, directly to USB-C or an adapter USB-C to audio jack or so, but this is the only one. There's also no Wi-Fi and no Bluetooth, nothing wireless on this headset. That's what you have to keep in mind. And yeah, likely you will use the USB-C for your audio. Let's talk about sound and microphone. So sound is very easy. There is no sound. There is no sound included. For me, that's very negative, to be honest, because I'm not a big sound enthusiast. I don't need a like 500 euro headset. For me, it would be great if there are just 2 small sound slots where I can hear something, but there is no sound included. And that's, for me, it's pretty bad. The only thing you can do is connect sound to USB-C, or if you have an audio jack, you need an adapter USB-C to audio jack. That's the thing. What you can also do, of course, it's directly connect your sound to your PC, like Bluetooth or so. Yeah, because the headset needs to be connected to a PC anyway, so you can connect both directly to a PC. However, no sound. There's also microphones included, and I made a test with that. Let's hear it. This is a microphone test with the MeganeX Superlight 8K. So let's scream a little bit and speak normally, and we can do some blowing and some pop noises. So I'm looking forward to the results. Yeah, and what do you think? That sounds good, right? So the microphones inside this headset are pretty good. That's very important if you want to record something or multiplayer games or so. They can hear you very good. So the microphone quality is good, but yeah, no sound. Okay, let's talk about the price. So including tax and shipping, it's 1,899 euro. Right now, I'm not sure about the price in dollars. If I know it, I will put it in the description below, so make sure to check that out. This is a pretty high price, of course, but please note that there is a very high resolution micro OLED displays included, and they are ultra expensive. Also, the development of the lenses is very expensive, so likely the price is normal for this kind of headset. Yeah? And please note that it's very small, very light, and a very good quality of the display. And of course, they cannot do it like Meta, like sell it under the value, and then that doesn't make sense for them because they have to earn money with the sales of the headset. So yeah, this is the price for this headset, and yeah, this is what I can tell you. Okay guys, now I talked a lot about this headset. I hope I could answer most of the questions. But now let's come to a conclusion. Let's go to pro and contra arguments. Let's start with pro. Of course, the display. This is the best display in a headset right now. It's very clear, very high resolution, nice colors, nice black levels, you can read text, everything is really great. One of the best displays ever in a VR headset. Also the comfort is great. Yeah, you can set it up like upwards and to the side and to the front and whatever. You can do everything, and it's very comfortable. You can do it, use it lying mode and so on, and it's very comfortable even for hours. Also the weight. Weight is very low, one of the lightest headsets, and that's also very good. For people wearing glasses, it's very nice that you can adjust the diopter with the small wheels. That's also not common for a VR headset. Also what I love is this flip-up design. When you want to grab something or want to talk to somebody, just push this button, flip it up and then do that. Really great. But there's also some disadvantages. Of course, unfortunately, the field of view. So it's, for me at least, it's so small that I have a lot of problems with that. It's smaller than every headset that you can see here in this shelf. Perhaps besides the HP Reverb G2 was also very small as this one. But for me, that's a huge problem. It kills a little bit, or it kills a lot of the immersion, because you just see a lot of the black edges and so on. That's perhaps for you it's not a problem. Perhaps you think, yeah, I love the lightweight of the headset and the high resolution. I don't care about the field of view, perhaps. Also, I don't like that there is no sound. It's no sound included. For me, it would be better if there are small sound slots or so. But perhaps you don't care, you can connect your own headphones. But for me, I don't like if there is no sound included. Also, it could be a problem that there's no Bluetooth inside this headset. That means you have to connect your controllers to a dongle that you can push in your PC. And the dongle is pretty big, so it can block other USB ports. And if your PC is far away from the headset, it could also cause some problems with the connection, perhaps. Also, unfortunately, on the contra side, I had to put the edge-to-edge clarity, because I mean, I tried everything, go closer to the lenses, far away or so, but on the edges it was not sharp. It was like a little bit blurry, and it's not a huge problem, because in the center of your view where you look most, it's clear. But especially with the small field of view, yeah, I definitely noticed that the edge-to-edge clarity was not so good. And of course the cable. The cable is really bad. It's absolutely unflexible and much too short. So perhaps you don't care if you just play seated simulations. Then there's not a problem for you. But if you want to play games like standing and moving around, you definitely need the 169 optical 5 meters cable, because this is pretty useless for that kind of games. So yeah, that's what I can tell you about this headset. Who should buy it? I mean, people that want PCVR with an ultra high resolution, that really want to have the best display and a light headset, this is very good. And perhaps if you don't care about the field of view so much, if you perhaps you tried somewhere the HP Reverb G2. If you tried it somewhere and the field of view was good for you with the standard facial interface of this headset, then it could be okay for you. But for me, it's too small. So yeah, as I said, people who want PCVR with a high resolution and don't care about small field of view, this could be very interesting. So guys, this was my review. If you want to see other headsets, for example, there's also the Bigscreen Beyond 2. This is even smaller and lighter than this one, but has a lower resolution but higher field of view. That's also interesting. Or perhaps the Pimax Crystal Super. This is bigger and heavier, but has a very good resolution as well and a much bigger field of view. So every of these three headsets have advantage and disadvantage. Check out the links in the description and in the first pinned comment. Make sure to check this out. So guys, if you have any questions, please write it in the comments below. And I hope you liked my review. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE